Two members of the congregation today who are standing here, and they're going to be discussing last week's sermon. Let's listen in.
Did you hear last Sunday's sermon? It sounded like Pastor said there was a crisis calling.
I don't think those were exact words, but I heard him mention 4 areas. Let's see if we can think about what they were. I'm pretty sure one of them was worship. Was he talking about attendance being down? I know that participation in Sunday school is facing a lot of competition from all the sports activities scheduled on Sunday.
Worship was definitely one of them. Maybe we'd be better off if we only had one service. Then the pews would be fuller.
Which service would remain? And which one would get eliminated?
Hey, it's an election year. Maybe we could schedule a debate or hold a mock convention and have plaques and banners from each service.
I don't know. Would the council members be deemed superdelegates? That could cause some rumbling and grumbling. Maybe that's not a good plan.
I see your point. Was another of the points raised serving? I can sort of see a crisis happening there.
Yes, that was one of Pastor's points. I certainly know it isn't easy getting enough teachers for Sunday school and vacation Bible school. And it seems like the same core group does the volunteering for Family Promise each time.
Was difficulty in finding people willing to serve on council a big factor in the decision to reduce the council size to 8 plus pastor this year? And the committees don't exactly seem to have waiting lists to be allowed to attend their meetings.
Sad but true. And the same group of people volunteer support Faith Kitchen each month. And don't even get me started on Altar Guild.
It sounds like we could have a crisis calling in this area. What other areas were mentioned last week?
Giving. We can't forget that one. But I'm not sure we have a crisis in that area.
Maybe we should qualify that with, we don't have a problem there yet. I heard it was reported at the Synod Assembly last month that there is money to do ministries for 2016, but it doesn't look like they can all be sustained for 2017. Let's hope that the future that the New Jersey Synod may be facing does not become a local issue at Zion.
Yes, let's hope that does not happen. I wouldn't want to witness that. Wait, that was the 4th area he mentioned, witness. Does this crisis mean that there will be lawyers and depositions? Yikes!
Okay, this has gone on long enough. Let me join the discussion. Judy and John, I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. You were reflecting on Pastor's sermon last week, right?
Yes, it made quite an impression.
I think you may have misheard some words that were spoken in his message. I think you got off on the wrong foot. You see, I record the sermons, and I sit near the front. And I'm pretty sure I knew what he said when he was speaking. He did mention 4 areas, but his words were, Christ has called you. Worship, serve, give, and witness. He did not say, Christ is calling.
It must have been the acoustics up in the balcony, the fans going on.
Or when I was blowing my nose.
The pastor's point was that we have been called to Christ to act in all of these areas. Our society may present obstacles, but the real issue is how we will act in each of these areas, not whether we have to act. We are called to worship.
If your child's sports are scheduled on Sunday, you could listen to the sermons and maybe some of the music online.
Right. You can't expect pastor to write you a pass from worship. It is up to you to realize that the call is coming from Christ and to find a way to respond.
We are called to serve. Find a way to join in, not an excuse to sit idly by.
There are plenty of opportunities. Did not the disciples go out to the ends of the world?
We are called to give.
We are talking about the issues at Synod, looking ahead to 2017. We have potential to ensure that Zion doesn't find what's happening locally in Oldwick.
There is a tendency to rely on the giving of a few. Over the last 10 years, the top 10 family giving has given over 30% of our general fund income. It has taken the other 140 families to provide the other 70%.
And it has not always been the same families. In fact, 21 families have been in this circle since 2007. Only 2 families have been in the top 10 all of those years. And finally, we are called to witness.
Yes. Think about your own personal story and be willing to share it with others. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
That may be the most difficult area for some of us, but it doesn't mean we can ignore it.
So remember, it is Christ that has called each of us. We need to determine how, not whether, we will fulfill the call.
Thank God we do not want a crisis to come calling.